What's up guys, Invisible Jiu-Jitsu here, we got Shiro. We're going to do a double attack from side control, we're going to do a near side armbar, and we're going to do a choke. I don't know what this choke is called, some people have called it the wrap choke, some people have called it the pillow choke. You're going to see what we're going to do, okay? So I have side control, Shiro points his head this way. Okay, I'm going to collect his arm, switch through, I'm going to step over, there's my armbar. If he pushes my leg, there's my choke. Okay, so, do you want more details? Okay, more details. So we're going to do the armbar. I'm going to show you this armbar that I did originally, but that's the first armbar that I learned. But there's a very crucial counter to it that's very simple. And we're going to deal with two ways to do that armbar, and then we're going to deal with the loop choke when he counters. Okay? So, if I'm in side control, I'm going to start driving into him, I'm going to pick up his elbow. And as I pick up my elbow, I'm going to switch and block through. Okay? Now what I want is my knee underneath his shoulder, so that right now, he cannot put his elbow back on the ground. Okay? Now notice when I switched through, I didn't go to scarf hold. I didn't go all the way up here. Okay? Which is okay. It's valid. Let's just move back a little bit. Okay? I went just to here with my knee just about his shoulder. Okay? So now he can't pull this arm down. I keep hold of his elbow. Okay? And I keep my elbow clamped to my own hip. So right now, pull your arm out. It's impossible, okay? I like to control either here or here, depending on what he's doing. I don't want him to start trying to block here too soon, okay? So I might hold here, or I might hold here, depending on what he's gonna do. If he starts to block me, I might start holding here, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass my leg, and I walk it up right into his neck, okay? And right now, my elbow is still clamped, and my hips are connected to my hand, so that when I push my hips forward, we get the transference of the armbar, okay? Let's just turn a little bit. So, I drive in, I collect his arm, through, okay? But I'm low on his hips. Still collected, I have his elbow right in the middle of my palm, I step over, and we go in. If I'm over here, I walk it up, I drag back, as I push my hip forward. Notice how a lot of my weight is on his belly, okay? Now the obvious drawback to this technique is, let's just turn a little more, is as I get to here, as I bring my leg, even if I control this, he starts to sit up. And I can't get my leg over his head without seriously compromising my balance. Okay, so the next stage of this is actually not to hold his arm anymore, it's to rely on my leg. Okay, I'm going to make a cage for his arm. Okay, I'm going to show you from a few angles, so don't worry if you don't get it straight away. I connect my elbow to the inside of my thigh, and I use my hand to block him. But I don't do this. He's going to take his arm away. Okay, I have to make a cage. So my leg is going to come with my hand. Right? And once I'm here, then my elbow slides back and my hips go forward. Okay? Let's turn. Let's think, what's the best way of doing this? Yeah, that's this. Okay? So I'm here. Before we were here, he's going to start sitting up. So what I'm going to do instead is rely on my leg to block his elbow from going to the ground, and I'm going to make a cage. Okay? So my cage never breaks. Okay, I don't do this where he's going to take his arm out and he's going to free the arm. So I'm here, I make my cage, I block, lean, pop. Okay, try and pull your arm out. Okay, at no point here, pull your arm out, is he able to pull his arm away. Okay, once I get to here, my elbow comes back and I clamp it to me, and then my hips can go forward. Okay, you can hold here. Okay, so if I do it fully, I'm going to control, pick up, and then cage, block, pass. All right, we go back, and then from here, that's where my hips can go forward. okay? I'm gonna lose a tiny little bit of leverage on the armbar because the physical mass of my hand isn't in the way. I've got to go, you know, the width of my hand more with my hips, but it's okay because before I wouldn't have even got it, okay? But if I can get it here, boom, and go straight, cool, I'll go to it. But if he starts to defend, that's when I have to then come to my cage. Pass, walk, drag back, pop, okay? His only hope from here is to start pushing this leg away from his head. So I let him go, catch, and here's my pillow choke, okay? The details here are, I really want him to push hard. So I'm closing, just relax, I'm closing my knee here, very tight, okay? And I'm making it so that he has to push really hard. If he just goes pop, he never commits and he never gives me this tricep. I want him to overcommit, so he has to push, 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 and I go tricep to tricep. Very important that I don't try and go straight to the choke. He's gonna fight against that, it's too loose. So as it releases, go push, release that, boom. I go tricep to tricep, and then I swim around. If I struggle to get under his head with the blade, I'm gonna pick his head up. I turn back to side control to block his hip with my knee. I punch through, bicep, back of head, and I squeeze and I drive down. So what I'm doing is I'm using my bicep to cut off one side of his neck and my squeeze to press his shoulder in on the other side, just like we would a regular arm triangle, except this time the arm is outside of my triangle, okay? And I do this sometimes just from here without the arm. I'll just start stepping and cranking his neck, hoping he gives me this, he pushes, and we go tricep to tricep, wrap, okay? If you've got shorter arms, you can pit stop here by holding the shoulder, adjust, and then you can start to punch to his punch to his temple, go through deep. You can finish here sometimes if you can't get fully into the arm triangle, all right? But when I'm in the arm triangle or here, I'm squeezing in and up, all right? So I'm elbows together here and in as I drive my weight down onto his shoulder. Okay, let's just come back a little bit. Getting a bit too close to the camera. So, I'm here. I'm trying my arm lock, I make my cage, boom, and he knows he's done for if this leg stays here. So he pushes, I'm resist, 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 tricep to tricep, and I wipe his arm out of the way. And immediately my weight drops on him because I don't want him to go here and keep coming. Keep coming to your knees. Come, yeah, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Yes. And he's gonna get up to his knees, and then I have to attack turtle. So as soon as the wipe happens, go, I put pressure down, try and come. Very difficult. And now I'm using shoulder pressure. I turn my hips back and I move his legs with my knee. My knee is going to collect his legs, boom, and turn him back. Grip, grip, and squeeze, okay? Now, just come back a little bit. If I get into this choke, and I really don't like Shiro. Shiro has said something nasty about my mother, or he criticized my pin gi. Once I get into this situation, I really want to teach him a lesson, okay? Or he starts trying to get up to his knees. If he starts trying to get up, I'm gonna pick up this leg and I'm gonna walk back to his hips, okay? If I can walk back to his hips, fantastic. Now, I can cradle him. If I can cradle him, I can step through and collect this leg. Once I've collected this leg, now his spine is rotated in two different directions. Upper body that way, lower body that way. And I'm gonna go back to my choke, okay? Now, if you're a shorter grappler, the thing we have to worry about is losing chest contact here. Because if I lose chest contact, he pulls this arm away. And then we're done. And I've just put myself into a leg weave for no reason. So we have to be aware of this. It may not work for everyone. But if it does, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm here, and he starts trying to turn in. So I anchor, I pick up his leg, and I walk back towards his hips. If I can step over, I do, and then I drag back, look, here. Now, if I really don't like him, I can stop lifting and bending his spine, or I can finish my choke. Okay? Works especially nice in the gi too, because you can pick up the gi right by his knee. We can cradle, we can go here. But this is all just like catch wrestling, Luta Livre icing. Okay? The real double attack is the armbar and then into my loop choke. Okay? There's loads of things we can do. Afterwards, we can do things like I'm here and then he starts to come towards me. We can start going into cranks to put him back down. We can start letting him come and actually jumping on rear naked choke with no hooks. We can go bulldog choke, early UFC, Carlos Newton style, loads of things. But the double attack from the beginning, just turn a little bit, is swimming through into the side control, making a cage, step, okay? And here's my arm bar, and if he pushes, here is my pillow choke, okay? Or this can be just a nice thing to mount. If I can't physically get through, like Shiro's quite big, if I can't get through, I can then stop, boom, going to mount. From here, we can expose the back. There's loads of stuff we can do if the choke isn't an option. So, hopefully you enjoyed this little video. A couple little attacks from side control with some details. Thanks to Shiro. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, share with your friends. Come back for more. Try and do videos every day. Please subscribe. Thanks guys.